You're watching WVEC TV, Channel 13.
A few weeks ago, these children did not know if they'd have a place to go after school. Tonight, they do.
There's a party going on around here. It's in Chesapeake, but not just fun and games. It's big business, too. We'll tell you why.
And the Suffolk family faces another night with no sign of their missing relative.
This is 13 News at 11.
Good evening. I'm Regina Mobley.
And I'm Terry Zahn. We'll have those stories in just a moment. But first, Currituck County parents are challenging the school board and administrators. Tonight, they aired their grievances in an open forum. Usually quiet community just to the south of the Virginia-North Carolina line erupted when the quality of public education came into question. 13's Priscilla Monte just returned from the meeting at Currituck High School. Priscilla, what's the problem here?
Well, Terry, there seem to be problems at every grade level. Parents of the elementary school kids say their students aren't learning to read and spell correctly. And parents of the older students say that there's no control at the junior high and high school. And the students we talk to say that makes it difficult to learn anything.
Emily Berger has 1 year left at Currituck High, so she doesn't want to go to private school, even though she says her school has big problems.
Teachers, I think, are really slack. That's how I put it. I mean, my classes are they're boring because I'm not doing anything in any of them.
Those same concerns over lack of control forced Adam Belcher to transfer out of Knapp Junior High.
Kids will be yelling if the teacher told them to do something they didn't like it, they'd yell curse words, everything. And yelling was the most thing that really happened. I mean, they just yell at the teachers all the time. I mean, there's no respect for the teachers at all.
I need to share with all of you that this is our...
Their parents and hundreds more came to an open forum to ask the school board and administrators how each school is run. High school principal Dave Sutton says discipline is often handled on a case-by-case basis.
When you have issues like respect and things like that, you have to look at each case individually and see what in fact actually occurred.
As for the junior high, there will be a police officer on school grounds this fall, just like at the high school. And the system has set up a discipline committee. Board member Sam Walker says in Currituck County, education and the kids should come first.
Now we've dumbed down, and it's 1997, and in the internets and online, it's time that we, and I know you're asking, and how this board will address it, I don't know. But I think if you raise enough hell, somebody's going to listen, and they're going to spend the money.
Now, parents from Knapp Junior High School were asking about more than money tonight. They showed the board this 1995 evaluation that teachers did of the principal of that school, and the marks were not good. They were all in the problem or potential problem area. The board said that they would take a look at this and consider doing another study. No problems were solved tonight, but many of the parents said they were just glad to get things out in the open. Terry?
Okay, thanks, Priscilla. Keep us up to date.
A vote to raise graduation requirements across the state is on hold tonight. Under the plan, high school students would have had to add at least 2 more classes to their current curriculum in order to receive a diploma. State education officials will now vote next month instead of next week. Now here's the latest at 11 on the suspension of 2 Chesapeake police officers. Virginian pilot sources are identifying the men as Police Sergeant R.V. Williams and Detective Robert Lunsford. The same sources tell the newspaper the officers were suspended for activities related to child pornography. As of tonight, no charges have been filed against either man. Both Chesapeake Police and the FBI are investigating this case.
Turning now to other news from around Hampton Roads tonight, the trial of a Portsmouth man charged in the murder of a 7-year-old girl will get underway next week. Today, the court seated jurors to hear the case against Lamario Cooper. Police say he killed Blanca Garcia last July during a drug-related shootout. Some good news for young people who use the Southside Boys and Girls Club. Thanks to an outpouring of support from the community, the club will not close its doors this summer. A couple of months ago, staff members were afraid a drop in donations would force them to cut some services or even close down. But after weeks of fundraisers and donations from outside organizations, the center is now back on track. The search for Mac Ben Jr. will be back on tomorrow morning. Searchers spent the day dredging the Nansemond River looking for the former Suffolk school superintendent. He fell overboard yesterday while fishing with his brother-in-law. And at Ocean View tonight, National Weather Service experts spoke to residents about hurricane preparedness. They say they're seeing an increase in the number of hurricanes each year, so The panel is reminding residents to put together a plan of action in the event that a hurricane hits. Tune in next week to 13 News at 11 for a week-long look at hurricanes and Hampton roads.
Already we're talking about hurricanes?
That's not far away. What is it, Jeff, about June 1st that we enter the season officially?
Exactly, yeah. It used to be later in the season, but we started getting them in early June, so now it's June 1st. Pretty rare to get them here in Hampton roads then, but that just gives us